You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Larry. I'm rocking with Ground 3 Radio, and I'm here with Mike on the mic. Stop playing with him, fool.
Yo, what it do, family? It's your favorite host, Mike on the mic from the Vibe Perspective Podcast. Tapped in with my guys at Ground 3 Radio, DJ OK. Man, we back at it again for another Vibe Style Wednesday and another series of interviews. Shout out to each and every one of my listeners tonight. Make sure you take the time to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, man. We work hard on these. We work hard on all of this content. Is crazy. We doing a lot in the building and a lot in the studio. Everything is going up this year, and we going even crazy for the rest of this year, man. We working hard, man. The whole team is working super hard, and be sure to call in that 443-377-1872. Again, that number is 443-377-1872. Man, I cannot make an understatement on how special of a guest we got in the building. We got a super special guest in the building, a legend, a curator, a creative, executive producer, a MC, a CEO. Man, the list goes on. I'll be here all night just saying the accolades, just the talents. Man, it is my honor. It is my pleasure to say that we got Larry Whaddup in the building, a.k.a. Larry Caudle. What up?
What up? You said Larry Caudle. That's what's up. I love it.
Absolutely, man. I'm good, man. I'm glad to have you here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. You know what I'm saying? It's my pleasure. I'm enjoying this moment. You know what I mean? So, and all my listeners want to take more time and learn more about what he got going on and what he got with some of the things he's working on. Make sure you go to Larry Caudle on Facebook and Larry Whaddup. That is at LarryWhaddup on IG as we go through the interview, so you can match the work to the man himself. And like I said, it's just an honor. You know what I mean? Man, this is crazy. Like I told, we talked a little bit off air. I'm like, you know, we've been here like a year and a half almost.
Gotcha.
And, you know, from the beginning, I had no clue where this radio thing was going to go. Okay. But I knew that I wanted to tell stories. I knew that I wanted to give a human aspect to people's work. Because a lot of times you just see the work. Right. You don't see the person behind it.
Exactly.
And, you know, I wanted to use this platform to do just that. And I'm so glad that I got, you know, a legend sitting in front of me. This is, you know, it's a pleasure. I ain't going to flowers you to death.
Man,
but.
I'm honored, man. I'm honored. Honored to be. I'll be turning 46 this year.
Wow, congrats, man.
Honored to be able to just wake up every day and just do what I want to do, you know?
Yeah, that's fire. Absolutely, man.
Pieces together.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, and I want to definitely talk about that journey. You know, I want to, you know, like everybody that I respect that I sit in front of, I want to start from the beginning. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, born in Raleigh, North Carolina. Yep. You know, you moved at the age of 2 to Baltimore, and that was the Hollander Ridge Projects.
Ridge, yep.
And you pretty much was raised there with 2 sisters? Was it 2 sisters?
God,
so
it's crazy. Hey, listen. He did his research, y'all.
Man, listen, man. And, I mean, I want to start from there. Like, I want to start from that upbringing, that journey, and, you know, coming to Baltimore new, you know what I'm saying, and learning everything and growing up and sort of some of the things you was dealing with as you was coming up.
So, yeah, man, shoot, that story right there. My mom, we lived in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I had an abusive dad. You know what I'm saying? He used to like hit on my mom a lot. Yeah. And one day he went to work. She packed up some bags and we hopped on a Greyhound in Baltimore. Yeah. When I first got here, we lived on Mount Street. Yeah. Over West. Stayed there for a few. And then I remember she telling me, look, we got a new house. And I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be cool.
You got a pool, right?
Pool in the backyard. I'm excited, right?
Yeah.
We get out there. It's the projects, but it was like a level up from
the
projects. Yeah. And you know, I grew up out there. I was out there. You know, grew up with my sisters, Kim and Tiffany. Tiffany was like the bulldog, though. She ain't let nobody mess with me, man. And Kim was more like everybody wanted Kim. You know, she was the fastest girl in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like she was fast, boy. She could run.
Yeah.
But like growing up in the household, you know, not having a father figure, and then you know, I guess my mom kind of like was looking for I guess some peace, and she found drugs. You know what I mean? Yeah. But she was an addict, but she was an operating addict, right? Yeah. She would go to work, you know, take care of her responsibilities, but she would get high. Yeah. And it started getting to a point where it started bothering me. And I would come home and I would see like the spoons with black stuff on it and see little bottles, and I started throwing the stuff away. Yeah. And she got fed up, and then like I think I was like 17, my last year of high school.
I was gonna say your last year of high school. She put you out, right?
She put me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she put me out. And when she put me out, I thought she was playing at first. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
And I go to my friend's house. I'm mad, but I go to my friend's house, and I sneak back in the window like late night, and she come downstairs early in the morning. Mother, didn't I tell you to get out my house?
Yeah.
Called the police on me. They escorted me out. I had just got my first check from Chuck E. Cheese. That's the reason why she put me out, because I said I wasn't giving her none.
Yeah.
But I knew she wanted to use that money for drugs.
Yeah.
So in that, I'm just like, you know what? You can't have it. She put me out, and I end up going over West Baltimore.
Yeah.
Town of Gwynns Falls. I had some cousins over there at the time, probably like 2-3 years older than me, and they was getting it. They was on the corner. They was on the block. They was making money. 16 years old, killing.
Yeah.
And I remember one day, man, I came over, because I would go over on the weekends. But this particular time, it's like, nigga, you out, you put out, this is, you got to find some way. And that's why I went. But I remember one day I was over there, and I walked in the store. And one of my homeboys that seen me, he's like, yo, I'm about to go in. Yeah. He was like, you want to take care of this for me? You want to sell this? As soon as he gave me to me, somebody came in there and asked for the actual, the drug.
Yeah.
They wanted. And that was the, like, I guess the, like, bro, that was the first time I ever did.
Yeah, that was the barrier.
That was the, like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I always had a conscious mind, like, nah, I can't be out here on these corners. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm too gifted, I'm too talented. But I end up graduating from high school, even though she put me out. I graduated from high school, ended up going to Catesville Community College for 1 year. And then I fell back out.
Fell back into
it. And a friend of mine, he was getting married. This is one of my guys I used to go out with all the time, partying and dancing. Yeah. And he always was trying to convince me to come to church, right? Yep. But I'm like, man, I can't go to church. I'm doing all this.
I think I know the story
crazy
too.
Stuff, right?
Yeah.
He like, man. So he keep trying to convince me, and I'm trying to figure out where is he coming from on a Wednesday night every time. Because we used to go to the Latin Palace. He would come at this certain time every time. And then he was like, look, bro, I need you to be in my wedding.
So, you gotta get fitted, right?
Yeah, I gotta get fitted. So he like, I want you to come to the, I'm gonna come pick you up. Right. You come pick me up from the bar. So I get in the back of the truck. You got the red Expedition. Yeah. I'm sitting all the way in the back. I ain't paying no attention. And then we pull up on the back of this building. This big billboard say Pastor Tony Smith.
He starts stuttering.
I'm like, yo, I thought I told you I didn't want to go to no church. Yeah. He's like, nah, yo, the guy that's gonna measure us, he go to the church. God rest his soul, Mahan. He passed away, I think, like 2 years ago.
Rest in peace.
On a vacation, he drowned.
Wow.
Rest in peace to Mahan. But I went in the church, and now I'm mad, and I'm sitting all the way in the back. You know I want to be there. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm listening to the message, and I'm hearing it. And I'm like, you know what? As soon as he say altar call, I'm going to go down.
That's what Tony Smith, right?
Tony Smith.
Yeah.
So as soon as he was like, anybody want to come down to the altar? I just got up. First person. Walking down. I get down to him. He look at me. He say, young man, you're a very influential man. Yeah. But you're not going to see your full potential until you take yourself out of that situation that you're in. I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it. You got to make that decision. Yeah. What shalala? Hit me in the head. I fall out on the ground.
Out of there.
At this point, I'm like, Larry, this is your chance. Yeah. Just to cry it out. Get it out.
Get it all out.
Get it all out. This is it. So I'm tired of this. I don't want to live this way no more. I want to go back to school. I get up off the ground, and the guy gives me a towel. He wipes my face, and he said, "If you're serious about wanting to go back to school, I'm the director of admissions at Morgan State."
Edwin Johnson, right?
Edwin Johnson. Yeah. And that's how I got at Morgan. Yeah. And I never looked back from that point on. Even the facts of not having a father, even though my mom was strung out, I was trying to get help, but when I went to school, I studied social work. Yeah. And what I learned is, you can't get people help that don't want to get help. You gotta allow them to hit rock bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But what I did learn from going to school is, like a lot of people thought I was gonna major in like dance or something.
You was gifted.
Yeah,
Incredibly gifted.
It was just that was the gift that God gave me.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
But I wanted to learn something else, so I majored in social work. And when I was in school, my teachers they would try to say like, how you gonna focus on social work and 1 minute you at the Magic Convention, the next minute you choreographing for Broadley and Paula Campbell.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious about school?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, your grades not representing that. I said, you win. So basically, when the grades was coming out, I had like a A- in her class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
So after a while, they stopped asking me. They was like, what you gonna do with your social work degree? Like, they thought I was going to go into an office space. I said, nah, I'm going to socially work my environments. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, instead of being a counselor, I became someone that socially worked my environments.
Facts.
From all these artists that I've worked with.
So many. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I've been doing, socially working my environments. And that skill set, mixed with the law of attraction, that's what I've been doing. You know, socially working the environments. And, like, not so much trying to bring everything I have to the environment, but what can I fix in the environment? What's what's lacking in the environment? What can I add to the environment?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what I've been doing.
For sure. Seeing a need and feeling it.
Yeah,
for sure. And
filling that void.
I wanna talk a little bit about, like, because you mentioned a lot of things and towards the end there, and I want to kind of go through them individually. I mean, like, just going back to Morgan for a bit, like, I think when you first got there, like, you were like sleeping in your car.
Oh yeah. So
like
when I first got to Morgan, I was sleeping on couches.
Yeah.
That first whole semester, I was sleeping on couches. So like prior to that, when he told me, you're a very influential man, you got to decide yourself. I went like go. I said forget it, and I went to where I was living at the time, and I took a little bit of clothes. Somebody had just broken into my car in the parking lot. I left it there. I left everything in the parking lot in the apartment, and I just walked away.
Yeah.
And walked away.
Yeah.
And I was hanging at the bar, communicating with my guy Lenny.
Sure.
And that's how I got to the church. If I was being real naive, I wouldn't have never got to the church. What ultimately got me to Morgan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And ultimately led to everything else.
Everything else that I'm doing.
And it's crazy because I knew that in my research, and when I thought about that, there's always this one moment, and this is I swear I can't make this up. Every time I always do research, I always notice there's like a breaking point in the story. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that was a pivotal moment that really set the stage for everything that happened down your life. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I always ask the question, like, well, what happens if you just didn't go to the bar that day? Or like, what happens if you decided to tell him, I'm not going to church, I'm finna go back to the bar? Like, what happens if these individual moments don't occur, right? Mm-hmm. Does it like pan out the same way? I mean, I'm not God, I don't know.
I didn't know how to get in school.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I knew it was you either can go to the military, or you can go
sports.
You get a scholarship to the school. I had none, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't even have the funding to go to school. I didn't even know how to get funding. I didn't know about no financial aid and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a street guy. Coming out the street trying to recreate myself, right? Rebrand myself. So when I got with Edwin literally took me upstairs in the building because the financial aid was on the first floor. Yeah. I mean, on the first floor and second. His office was on the first. He literally took me to the financial aid and said, ladies, I need y'all to find him some money. He stood behind the door, stood right there behind the door. And said, lady, I need y'all to find some money. And that's how I got to school. And then that first semester, I was sleeping on my friends' couches, couch surfing. And then Edwin said, look, we're going to create this program called the Student Ambassador, where you need to learn, you're going to have to learn everything about Morgan. And when kids come here on trips, you take them around the school to tell them about the school.
Campus Pal.
Yeah, he said, if you do that, we'll give you free housing.
Yeah.
So basically now I end up getting housing. And the first semester of that housing, I was sharing it with somebody in the honors dorm. And now at this point, I'm 21 years old, right? And the person I'm sharing it with, they like 17, 18 years old, right? But they real, doing shit like putting signs in the microwave. If you're in a microwave, you shouldn't be in here.
Hey, yo.
Right? That type of shit, right?
Hey,
I'm thinking
yo.
we in here, we ready to rock out together. This little goody two-shoe motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I told the dude, I said,
Yeah.
listen, if you don't get me out that room, I'm going to beat him up. I'm going to beat him up every day. Because I'm a grown man. He's
Facts.
a kid. He ain't going to keep playing with me.
Yeah, facts.
And Colonel Bozeman, he approved to give me a lounge. They gave me a whole lounge, a place where 4 people share. They gave me a whole lounge, and I had that whole lounge for 2 years as my room.
Yo, that's that's crazy.
So I just ended up, man. So once I got
Yeah.
that piece of having a place
yeah.
to stay, I'm like, now I want to recreate myself. I want people to know the new Larry.
Yeah.
So I got with brother Munir Baha.
Yeah, his brother to brother.
Yeah,
right?
I'm one of the founders of Brother to Brother.
Yeah.
You know, with Munir Baha and Bobby.
Yeah.
Right? Got with them, we did that. And then while I was at Morgan, I joined the fashion club.
Yep.
And my first year I tried out, I knew someone, the Lady Sunshine. I knew her from doing some work with a singing group called Red that she was dealing with. Shout out to Carmelita.
Man, big shout out.
You know what I mean? So I got in the club, and then the following year they voted me on the board. And I ended up being the marketing director for the fashion club.
Talk about pivotal steps.
Yeah,
right?
it was just like, and the secret to that was, all right, look, fellas, we love women, right?
Of course, yeah.
So every time it was time to do a fashion show, I'm selling all my tickets to the homies I just left from around the block.
Yeah,
they looking at me like, oh yeah, yo, you in college now? Oh, and you doing this type of stuff? They want to come.
Yeah, of
I
course.
was selling out all my tickets all the time. Shout out to D-Hove too, man. D-Hove.
big shout out D-Hove.
Listen, D-Hove, a lot of people don't know this, right?
Yeah.
D-Hove used to come down from Morgan when I was going to Lake Clifton.
Wow.
Right, so I really started the whole modeling thing at Lake Clifton.
Yeah.
Hove was the guy that came down and was showing us how to walk and telling us about being, confident and all that stuff. Because at first ABC was called Always Building Confidence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the acronym for it, and he was
Shout out to D-Hove, man. Jeez. So, and that's crazy because that story is, like you mentioned, like being a campus ambassador. Like, we got things like that. I went to Howard, and we got things called Campus Pals. That made me instantly think of that when I heard, not research that you did that. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's like he was a Campus Pal. That was like, and I think you had to keep like a C average to keep
I had to keep
that,
a C
right?
average to keep that housing.
It's like crazy, right? And shout out to Rollins Hall, too.
Yeah, Rollins Hall.
Man, like, these moments are important, right? Because these, like you mentioned, like being like getting that marketing position, like getting that like these moments are so important for what's going to happen later in their life, because you learn all of this stuff so early. Like, even though he was like 20, 21, like like this is so good like it's learning lessons that when you get 5-6 years later, it's like, oh, I can just use the playbook.
Think about that. At 21 years old, I was the marketing director for ABC Fashion Club.
Yeah.
And now I'm 46 years old, and I'm doing the same work.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm still doing.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, ABC, when they gave me that position as marketing, it really like put in my brain like, yo, you really do this. You really can do this, right? That's what I led with that. I'm like, shoot, I was the marketing director. And then right after that, brothers Tim, Wayne, and Artemis, they came with at me with the clothing line Calisthenics Clothing.
Yeah.
And it was just an idea. They was back in Ohio, and they knew that I did the marketing for ABC. They called me up. They was like, yo, we got this concept. Are you interested in being like a marketing consultant, or do you want to be a part of the business?
Yeah.
I said, no, I want to be a part of the business.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? They was like, all right, let's meet when we get back. And we met when we got back. And we were just doing like, they were selling like t-shirts, and they would do like dope designs on them and paint.
Yeah.
So I got with them, started coming up with marketing plans, and man, before you know, we went from one Magic to 5 Magic conventions. We went from selling shirts to just our friends, to the football team, to the basketball team, to the cheerleaders. Then that biggest caveat is we opened up a store while we were still students at Morgan State. You know what I'm saying? It's right on my wrist. Look.
Oh yeah, for
Calisthenics. Yeah, that was major to do something like that in college. And,
of course.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a lot of the guys that a lot of the guys back then that had clothing lines, like even say for instance Chris
Yeah.
Simon. Chris had a line called C Notes.
Yeah,
Me and Chris was in school together. We took social work classes together. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I think people outside of Baltimore, because I get a lot of listeners, like, I think people outside of Baltimore do not really understand how small Baltimore really is.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not small in terms of, like, size, because it's a decent size, but, like, it's small in terms of the circles you would run through. Like, you would always end up finding somebody that, like, you spent, I don't know, a couple weeks with doing a thing, and then it's like, oh, they come up and they're like the assistant director or something. And it's like, that's crazy.
He looking good out there. Like, restaurants, 2 restaurants.
Crazy.
Shout out to Chris, man. But you're a Morgan
shout
State alumni. You know, social work major.
Yeah, for sure, man. If it follows you, man, I tell you. I mean, and it's crazy because we talk about the things that like sort of set the steps for your future, and like I just go back to like some of the like productions you was in, like Homicide, Life on the Street, like man, like, and it's crazy because you got that after seeing a friend who recommended that you like put a resume in.
Yeah,
right?
I actually was around RNG, and the lady that lived next door to where we all used to hang at, she said, "You ever thought about modeling or acting?"
Yeah, I
was like, "No." She's like, "Get me a headshot, and I'll send it in for you." So I got my aunt at the time, Aunt Chris.
Yeah,
she was like, I got a friend that take pictures. This was way before, like, this was the ones you print out, that, the 8x12.
Yeah.
And I remember the picture I had on, a white V-neck shirt, and I had the little dreads, and I was sitting like this. Took my picture, boy, I'd send it to the lady. She's like, "You ever sit down?" And at this time, you gotta remember, I was homeless because my mother put me out, so I'm still couch surfing. That was before I went to school.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think I came and started staying at my sister's house. She was living in Flag, the old Flag, the pissy Flag at the time, right? I'm like, I go down there, I'm staying with her, and I'm sleeping on the couch, and I get a phone call. "Hi, this is such and such from Homicide, Life on the Streets." First, when they said Homicide, I'm like, whoa. Homicide, Life on the Streets, the TV show.
The TV show, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because I was going to hang up. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Right?
Yeah, right.
So they like, "No, it's Homicide, Life on the Streets, and we're calling, can we speak to Larry Caudle?" I was like, "This is him." It's like, "We're calling to offer you a part on one of the shows called A Guy Named Jake the Jake." I was like, "Can you tell me more about Jake?" They said, well, Jake is a Jamaican, and he basically sells everything he can get his hands on.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, all right, this is the first time I ever had a part. So they're like, if you want the part, I said, "Yeah, I'll take it." Then they sent me an email. You meet at 6 a.m., you go to wardrobe, hair, makeup, and then you go to breakfast, and then we shoot. So the day of filming, I go there, it's all that. Go to the makeup place. Got my name on the door. I go in, the makeup lady, they put up 5 lumps in my head. And then they opening them up and put like blood in them.
Yeah.
Because in that scene, these white boys came back to get me because I sold them something wrong, some fake shit.
Yeah.
They shot me 26 times. So they had to make it, so I had 5 in my head and 21 in my body. Yeah. So after I go to makeup, I go to wardrobe, get my clothes, and then I go to the set. When I get to set, they say, "You ever seen a dead body?" I said, "Yeah, man. I can imagine." So I get around the ground and get into the space, lying down like that. And they come around, start poking holes all in me. Just poking right there, poking all the holes. And that was the scene, right? That. And then it shows later, like where I'm at the autopsy table. Yeah. And what they did for that, they basically, of course, I did get in the bag. I was in the autopsy bag. Sure. And of course, all the blood, all this was still. But for the cuts, they took a banana. They took a banana and put it, how like when you decorating cakes? Yeah. They took the banana, squeezed it up real fine and real thin, and used that. And that was the lime. And they made the lime with the banana and then just mixed it in with blood. Crazy. So, if you cut the skin open like that, it'll start rippling. Yeah. And that's how they made the autopsy cut. Yeah, and they went all the way around here. That's crazy. Yeah. And I'm in the bag like this, and they walk up there, it's like, man. somebody was really mad with this young man. And that was the first time on TV, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm thinking, like, this how it's going to be.
Right, yeah.
Like, I'm thinking, oh, I get a wardrobe. Next time, just extra work, Next time, extra work. I'm like, all right, I don't know if I like this extra work. And I really, if we really didn't have the scene where you could say, I can go to New York or LA and audition for big parts.
Yeah.
And when they was bringing like those big movies here, the Wires, the Corners and stuff, they was already casting the people majors before they get here. So I said, how about let me learn how to do PA work.
This is why I brought that up, by the way. This is exactly why I brought that up.
So I had a homie, and he asked me. So basically, I wasn't even in the game with none of that doing the PA work.
Sure.
My homie told me Vivica Fox was coming here to shoot something called Booty Shop, right? Yep. And he said he needed me to do some security, right? Yeah. I said, all right, cool. I can get out there and network. This is the time I'm doing calisthenics.
Yep.
So while I'm down there, I'm networking. I figure out who the wardrobe person is. It's this young dude named Dewan. He like 16 years old, right? Wow. He my homie now. We call each other brothers, but he's young as on the what? Yeah. So he like, just give me some shirts and I put them in for you. So now I go back home, tell my fellas with calisthenics, I can get out joints in the movie. So I'm working. I'm going every day. I'm working. We get to like, I think it's like 2.5 months. I ain't get paid. And the guy that brought me in, he big homie, right? But I'm like, what's going on? Right. He really didn't know for a minute. That's why he was prolonging the other month. Right. Then he ended up telling me, he said, man, look, their budget got cut, and they only paying the A-list guys. Wow. He said, my apologies. He said, I might not even get paid, but I knew he was gonna get paid.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they can't. He dare you.
Yeah, right.
So he's like, man, if anything else come in for you, you know what I'm saying, I got you. I have, I'll be one of the first people I call.
Yeah.
Now, a Baltimore nigga would have zapped out.
Right. With a Kirk on him.
But a North Carolina Baltimore nigga that went to Morgan, that went to church, that want to live a better life, that want to do something better in life, I said, all right, good brother. All right. And a year later, I got a phone call. Yeah. Larry, what up, man? It's Perry. What's up, Perry? Hey, you heard of the movie Step Up? The dance movie? Yeah. They coming to Baltimore to shoot the part 2, and it's called The Streets. I gave you information to the lady Susan Cohen. Give her a call. She'll be expecting you to call. Yeah.
You was doing you brought like dancers to that production too, right?
Yep. Yeah. So now I'm like, oh shoot, I'm ready, So I call the lady. She like, when do you want to come in? She's like, I got 9 o'clock and I got a 10 o'clock. Yeah. She's like, oh well, my bad. I got someone's already at the 9, but she's like, if you want it, you can have it. I said, give me the 9. I remember coming to 9. I came in. The 9 person was sitting out there already, and she called me in. And she met with me first. Yeah. And then she sent me into with the executive producer, dude named David Nixay. If you look up David Nixay, he do a lot of big stuff. I go and I sit with David. I don't have no paper. I don't have no resume. I don't have no video. I don't have nothing basically stating that I could do what you asked me to do. Yeah. The only thing I had was his word, the dude Perry. Yeah. But what if I would have been asked to Perry? Nigga, I need my motherfucking money, nigga.
Pivotal moments. These pivotal moments,
right? But I knew in that moment, I said, you know what, Larry? It's not about the now. It's about the long run, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I had to chop that little bit of whatever that money was up. And then a year later, I got the step up job. So he like, look, this is what we're gonna do. We'll pay you $650 a week for 4 weeks. He said, we need to get the auditions out. We need everybody that dance in Maryland to know about these auditions.
Facts.
I said, all right, cool. Man, I was everywhere. Every club, every event. And now, this was before we had online. Like, it was online. Yeah. I got the little notepads, and I'm writing everybody's names down. I'm making sure I can call them and get their emails so I can let them know when the auditions. And then the day of the auditions came. And they do what they did. They was doing a closed audition and an open. So a closed audition is for skilled dancers, right? and then a open is for anybody
yeah.
that want to come. So for the open, it was about 600 people,
Ooh.
right? And that's where they pick more of their extras and stuff from.
Yeah, for sure.
For the clothes, it was about 300.
Okay.
They picked one person
Ooh.
out of the clothes. You know what I'm saying? One person made it out of 300. One person
Jeez.
made it as a feature.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So after that, they brought me up and everything, and the lady Pat Moran, because we both did it, cast it together, like was doing looking for the people.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like boom, 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 great job, blah blah blah. We'll see you on Monday. That's how I knew I had the job. And I went to work on Monday, and when I first got there, the first person that I encountered with or was working with was Jamal Sims.
Jamal Sims, I know that name too.
All right, so Jamal Sims, I'm gonna just throw one of his big ones out there. Jamal Sims choreographed "Remember the Time." Do you remember?
That's
he
100%.
choreographed that. Like
100%. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I'm now you gotta think about my brain, bro. Like I done went from this little nigga that was on the street hustling, and now I'm working on a movie.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when I got in, they basically had me as like the person in charge of all the dancers.
Yeah.
So like before the dancers came in, because it was like 3-month cycle.
Yeah.
So you got 30 days. It's just tech, crew, all those people. They figured out the shots.
Yeah.
And then the second month was the dancers came in. It was a month straight of practice and rehearsal.
Yeah.
And then that third month it was shoot. Right.
Okay.
I came in on the first month, and every month new people came in. When I started, it was 4 people. When the production was over, it was 120 people.
Ooh. Jeez.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that was early in the game.
Yeah.
So I kind of already had put my foot in the door early,
Yeah.
like learning the ins and out, because I wasn't a PA on that.
Yeah,
They had me just making sure the dancer was, was good. It was sort of like a consultant, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know back
Truly.
then, but but my only job was every day. Realistically, I had to do was make sure that they have craft service.
Yeah.
So every day I would go to the store, which you go to the finance people, and they'll give you a petty cash.
Yeah.
Certain people can get different amounts, right? You
Sure.
might, I had a 300 limit.
Yeah.
And when that petty cash is out, I can go back and get $300. All I got to do is show my receipts.
Right.
So all I had to do is make sure the dancers had juices, Gatorades, fruits, everything to make sure they dehydrated. So when they come out to practice, I got a whole spread set up every day. That's all. That was really my only thing I had to do.
Yeah.
Anything else, it was just like an addition.
Yeah, it was a bonus.
But
Yeah.
I started getting cool with the dancers. They here for a whole month.
Yeah.
So now they like, what is it to do?
Yeah.
So now
I got you.
I'm taking them to Red Maple.
Yeah.
Now I'm walking in Red Maple with 20 of the top dancers in the world.
Yeah. No cap.
And
yeah.
we burning it up. Then I say,
crazy.
you know what? Nah. You know what? Let's go down to Paradox.
Let's go to
Then
Paradox.
I took the whole cast down to Paradox, including guess who?
Who?
Cassie.
Who?
Cassie was in the lineup. She was with us. At the Paradox.
God.
Cassie was with us at Red Maple. We talking about Step Up to the Streets.
Yeah.
If you go back to the movie, she was in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
I took all of, and so now I'm becoming a cool guy.
Yeah.
Right? Now we rap. Movie's over, and I had already been trying to it was this kid I had found on the internet. And I was trying to get him in it. Like, this kid was dope. A friend of mine named Frank, when I was going to Morgan.
Yeah.
He came to me one day. He was like, yo, you got to check out this little kid. And this kid was nice. He's 8 years old, killing it online, just killing it.
Yeah.
So I get that job, and I'm trying to see if he can get it, and they tell me he too young. So now, I'm like, all right, cool. I ain't going to sweat it. So I get invited to come to the premiere in L.A. I go to L.A., and as soon as I get there, I contact Dave Scott.
Yep.
Because Dave Scott was one of the choreographers here on Step Up. We end up being cool. He had
Yeah.
Leo camaraderie. You know, he was in that van. He was in the truck when I took everybody to the Paradox at Red Maple. And I called him. I'm like, yo, I'm in town. He like, shoot, come to the crib.
Yeah.
So I go to his crib. When I get to his crib, he's sitting there on the internet. He looking at videos of kids. And he looking at the video of the two young kids that used to dance for Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Those two young boys. He looking at them. And I'm like, yo, to be honest, bro, I got this kid that'll kill him. That'll smoke them.
Yeah.
He was like, show it to me. I go to the page and show him.
Yeah.
And he looking, he like, yo, is he really doing that? There ain't no special effects. I'm like, nah, he really doing
He's
that.
really doing that. Yeah.
He like, you know him? I said, nah, I just been following his page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't really know him, but I just been following his page.
Yeah.
He's like, he went to his assistant. He was like, Chrissy, I need you to find this kid. Little be know, I didn't know what was going on. So the next day, I hit him up on MySpace. I found his MySpace page.
Yeah.
And you know, back then you had pictures on there, so it was valid. When I got the message back, it was from his pops. He said, look, man, a lot of people say they're going to do stuff for my son. Mm-hmm. They had pictures of Freeway, and the son was doing shows with them and stuff. He was like, a lot of people say they're going to do stuff for my son. He was like, I said, I ain't promise you nothing. I said, but Dave Scott, the choreographer from, at the time, his biggest movie was Stomp the Yard.
Yeah.
I said, the choreographer from Stomp the Yard want to meet your son.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. And you know, we set up to meet, and I think it was something going on in the economy. I think it was like a crash or something, and the relations, like the communication fell out.
Yeah.
The kid father was like, "Larry, I thought we was gonna meet him." I said, "Look, I don't know." He calling me like, "Man, I need to find a job. You know, things getting tough." So
I think there was a housing crash. It might have been a housing crash. Yeah.
So I find out that Dave Scott and all them, Jamal Selman and them, is going to be doing Monsters of Hip Hop and Reston, Virginia.
Yeah. And
I asked the kid's father where they lived at. I was living in White Marsh. Mm-hmm. They was living at Harford County.
Wow, that's
the
great.
entire time. I'm on the line at least 2 years.
Yeah,
just showing my friends, football players, Ravens, everybody,
and not knowing he right there.
Not knowing he right there.
That's crazy,
right?
Yeah.
So he like, I invited. So I was like, I want to invite him to the premiere at in Baltimore. So he came with his stepmother. The kid came with his stepmother, and you know, we sit there, we watch the movie. You know, all my family there. My name come up in the credit. We get outside at the Wild. Now this kid, if you know anything about King Los, if you're around Los and you rapping, he be rapping all day. This kid was just like Los but dancing. Like I would have to like chill out for a minute. Yeah. Like it just is always in him. Yeah. So I'm like, wait, I'm gonna wait till everybody get out here. So everybody started coming out the movie theater after it was over, and he said, "Mr. Light, can I go now?" He just start going.
It's going crazy.
So it was some dancers that was in the film there too.
Yeah.
He going against them, going against some pop. So the people from Monsters of Hip Hop, they asked me, they said, "Who's this kid?" I said, "Y'all gonna know in a little bit." Yeah. And it's like, you should have him come to our conference. So they go back and take the information to his father. His father ain't got a job. Yeah. He can't pay for the conference. Conference costs a whole lot of money. Yeah. He like, you know what, I'm gonna see if my sister can help me. So his sister ended up helping people at the conference. He like, but he needs some music. At the time, I was working with K Swift. I had her truck, and I had all this music in the truck. And when I found out that he was 15 minutes away from me, I said, "Meet me at the 7-Eleven right there on Honeygo Boulevard." Yeah, yeah. He met me right there. He got out the car. He got on a purple jacket and gold boots. I said, "You're Omega."
Yo, is a Q.
He said, "Yeah." I said, wow. The guy that got me in school was Omega. I got you. And I got you. I don't know what that meant. I got you, right?
Yes, sir.
So I give him a bunch of CDs. Yeah. Son was in the back seat, sleep. He go down. They go down to Reston, Virginia. And his father called me. He said, "Larry, we about to go." You know, Craig, he went in, and they had freestyle battles. Yeah. And he said, you know, he won the freestyle battle, but he said he was like a little shaky with the choreography. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He said during the lunchtime, he didn't go to lunch with the kids. He stayed back with the choreographers.
Yeah.
So now they like, oh shoot. So now, Dave Scott.
Yeah.
They want to work with him.
Yeah. Wow.
Because Dave Scott was already on a mission. Never even told anybody he was on a mission to find the next boy he could bang. Right. So now they connect. Now they finally connect with Dave Scott.
Yeah.
And like I said, during the crash, it kind of went this way. They lost communication. And then one day they called me and said, "We got a call. We flying out to L.A. They want us to come out to sign with a dance agency." His father came to see me. I was doing a restaurant in Lower Italy. I was doing a night down there. They came down. Father gave me a file. The son gave me a hug, and I'm talking about tight.
Yeah.
He said, "Thank you, Mr. Larry." I said, "No, man, it's already done." And they flew out there. Father called me right before they was ready to go in. He said, "We about to go in. I'll call you when we get out." He called me when he got out. He was like, "Man, Craig walked in. Dave Scott jumped from behind the back and said, 'Sign this kid.'"
Wow.
And they built Mom's behavior around him.
Prodigy. Wish I could whistle to make that crazy. I needed that entire story.
I didn't want to tell you the name till I got up there. I'm getting good at being a storyteller.
You're incredible.
I wanted to lead y'all all the way there.
I kind of knew early on.
You started hearing the hints.
I kind of, when you was like, he's like incredible out of nowhere and like he just dances all the time. I was like, oh, that's who you're talking about. But that's like, I needed that story, and I'm sure our listeners did too.
Yeah, man.
And but that's the thing. It's like, you've been in these scenarios, like being next to a bunch of dancers for so long, even choreographing your own things. Like you had, like, I think it was the Tasmanian Devils and the Animaniacs.
Yeah.
You know, like
Shout
even
out to Nan.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like, these moments matter for everything that, you know, sets the stage for the rest of your life. And, you know, had you not had the, you know, that experience of working with dancers and knowing how to, like, you know, navigate the area of dances and being a dancer yourself, like, these moments matter. And this is why I tell these stories. Because, you know, without these prior moments, without this wisdom that you've been through yourself, like, who knows how you would have acted in these scenarios? Who knows if the dad would have trusted you with his son? You know, being and understanding the mind of dancer. But, you know, we'll move on, because there's a lot of stuff you've done, and I definitely want to, you know, touch on a little bit more of these things. And you talked about, like, working with Paula Campbell. Oh, actually, I gotta mention this first, because you mentioned K Swift, and I think you met her at Catonsville Community College.
Yeah, Catonsville Community.
And like, y'all instantly, like, hit it off.
Yeah,
you know
like, we literally sat next to each other.
Yeah.
And she really wasn't into the school thing. You know what I'm saying? I was a nerd. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like math. I like numbers.
Same. Yeah, I like it. Definitely like math.
She wasn't really into it in that class. She would just be on the phone and all that stuff. Yeah. And I remember the day she left for the intern at 92 Pure.
Yeah.
And but while she was going there, she would, like, give me and my homeboys Lenny that's flyers to pass out for her, because she was just great started working at the Twilight Zone. Yeah. Whew. And we just matriculated a friendship from there, man. I was her road manager. You know, I dealt with a lot of artists from Young Lee, Prince, Do Straight Deuce.
So many.
So many people. I was right there, Young Lee. You know what I mean? Like, I was the guy, like, I would be the road manager. Like, I would take those guys up and down 295, 95 to the studios, to the meetings with the labels.
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
Swift. Woo.
Man. Her name is going to pop up later in this interview again, but I definitely had to mention that because we talked about Catonsville Community College. And, you know, you talked about working with Paula Campbell, and it's funny because all my return viewers are going to definitely be banging the TV asking me to mention this, because I had an interview with Tim Trees a little while back, probably like, I want to say like 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. And he was like, he told the story of, you know, you being Paula Campbell's backup dancer. And I was like, it's funny because I kind of knew that already, but I needed the listeners to hear it from him, because like, he was there. He was there. Yeah. And, you know, one of my favorite stories is like the Land of the O beat. You know, like coming from the intro that you and Paula Campbell, you know, used to do, and then one day you're in the car and you hear Land of the O, and it's like Boss Man got the biggest record in the city right off of the intro.
I called Ronley. I say, yo, did you just do that? You turned that into a hit.
It was a hit.
Yo, that was our intro, bro.
Yeah, that was fire. Intro. That beat is so crazy. Shout out to Rod Lee too. I think he's. I don't want to call him underrated because he's not. He's definitely put on the pedestal. But
you brought back memories, bro. Like people don't know, man. Like we would demolish them stages, bro. Like that beat come on. That beat would come on like this, and it was like, y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. Yo, come on. Yeah. And then a week later, it's like this is Land of the O. Yo, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
That's one of my favorite. One of my favorite things to research, because I know my first time hearing Land of the O, that, I don't even know what it did to my young mind. I knew that I loved music. I knew that I loved, club mix. I knew that I loved all of the stuff that dealt with Baltimore. That one song did something to my young mind.
It did.
I was like, and it was the beat. I mean, sure, the lyrics was fire, but, I was a dancer, too, when I was a kid, so I always heard the beat first.
Yeah.
And that thing rushed over my brain. I had to keep listening to it. I think I listened to it for 2 weeks straight. I didn't listen to nothing else, and I woke up in the morning but Land of the O. And just to know that was the beginnings of that sort of brought home for me, because I was like, I know what this did for me as a kid, but to know that was y'all intro and that y'all was destroying stages, I can tell y'all can destroy. That record is incredible. Rod Lee is a national treasure, man.
Rod called me and he said, I think, who was that I worked with first? It was Trees. No, he called me. He said, yo, I got this. It was right after he got the hit with Trees.
Yeah.
He said, yo, I got this girl I need you to get with.
Yeah.
So, back then, man, Rod, I was looking at Rod all right, Missy Elliott, Timberland, right?
Yeah,
but a lot of people don't know. They had a choreographer named Hi-Hat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did,
She'd do all this. So I was that person to
for them. Yeah.
For them, right?
Yeah.
Every time he needed an artist choreography for him, he called me.
Yeah.
So he called me with the girl. Yo, I got this girl named Paula I want you to get with.
This girl named Paula.
Right. And I'm like, all right. He was like, yo, I'm gonna give you information. So I call her. She's like, yeah, I live out Woodlawn.
Yeah.
So me and my homeboy Black, we went out there, met with her, heard the song. The song didn't really catch me at first. I'm like, what is this, yo? This shit. How does it feel? I'm like, fuck, forget it. Yo, gonna pay us to do it. It's cool.
Why not?
If I hear it long enough more, I start liking it.
Right, yeah.
So we started, just playing around in the living room, trying to, figure out what it was. And then we met another time at Rod Spot. He had a studio over East Baltimore. And we was practicing in the basement. And I'm still trying my best because she ain't had no rhythm. I'm like, yo. So I stopped right in the middle of the rehearsal. And I went upstairs. I said, yo, she ain't got no rhythm, bro. You gonna tell me to teach her how to dance? He like, nigga, teach her how to dance.
Yeah, right.
I went back downstairs. I said, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hire 4 male dancers. I'm gonna hire 4 female dancers. I'm gonna build that all around her, so you wouldn't even know if she can't.
You can't
dance.
tell. Yeah.
If I give her a move, she can do it. You know, she don't gotta be out there hitting it all the way through. You know what I mean? And that's what we did. And I brought 4 males in, which I was one of them. Black, and Timmy, and then we had somebody else, and then I had 4 girls. Tiffany, we had the twins at one point, and a young lady named Serena. They were the dancers, right? The females. And that's how I was able to really cultivate Paula's performance, her stage performance. I choreographed the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I hired the dancers, choreographed. Found that solution to make her show look better. You know, man.
Correct her second left foot. That's crazy though. I mean, and that man, it's insane. There's a couple things that happened around the same time too, because you started working with Unruly around that same time.
Yeah. So how I got over at Unruly?
It's K Swift and
Swift,
Quicksilver, right?
Yeah, me and Swift, we was cool, and then
Quick, we've been cool since I was like 14.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Quick was one of the youngest DJs in the club.
Yeah.
And my uncle at the time was the security guard at the club he was working at.
Yeah, yeah.
And I could get in. You know what I'm saying? And me and
sure.
Uncle we started building a relationship, and then he used to tell me other places he would have parties. And I went to one of his parties on YMCA one time. And that joint was jamming. And then I'm like, yo, how's this young little dude doing all this work? He like, y'all got a manager. I'm like, yo, damn, I want to meet him.
Yeah.
Cause yo got you moving. Yo got mixtapes. Your face on the cover. Mixtape.
This is crazy, man.
And, you know, life happened. And,
Yeah.
you know, you got to continue to build yourself. And I was getting on both of their nerves at the same time. I'm like, quick, yo, you got to introduce me to Sean. Swift, you got to introduce me to Sean.
For sure.
And then they introduced me to Sean. And that was in 2008.
Yeah, I was about to say around 2008, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we've been rocking ever since.
Yeah.
Like, heavy, hard. They call me big little brother, big brother.
Big-
I'm your big brother, you older than me. I get it, though. So, like, I get what he's saying. At first, I didn't really understand. I was like, yo, how you call me big? But it's the stuff that we talking about. That's big brother stuff.
Yeah, facts.
You know, I came from the streets and said, you know, I need to better myself, go get some more education. I went to school.
Yeah.
Before
facts.
school, I went to church to get some mental help. You know what I mean? Because that is the hospital.
Exactly.
Everybody go to church thinking, oh, you got to be all this perfect. No.
You go to
the
hell.
Next time you go, you got to be
broken. Facts.
Right.
That's facts.
So.
And that's crazy. You know, and like it's interesting. I knew that was 2008 because, like the story goes, it's about maybe 6, 7, 8 months later, K Swift passed away.
Yeah. Yep. So during that time, I had just got over there with her, probably she got me over Unruly.
Yeah.
And I was her road manager. You know what I'm saying? Making sure I was delivering her checks, making sure she got me over there, and I was working with Sean and them.
Yeah.
We started planning some real big, dope things. Like we planned a trip to Winter Music Conference 2008, and I drove her truck now.
Yeah.
But at the time she had a Cadillac, and she went and wrapped it herself, put her face on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? You need some rims on there. And my brother had gave me some rims for graduating from Morgan.
Yeah.
And I told her she can have them, and she painted the lips like sort of like a teal purple. Actually, this color, a little darker than this color. She painted the lip that color.
Yeah.
And I drove it down to Miami, me and Sin City. And while we were down there, we were just doing dope stuff. Like we had a hotel room, and we took the beds up and put them behind the wall and do a party in there. Had everybody in a conference in our room. We did stuff like we had Swift do a mix part of the CD, and then DJ Scotty B mixed it, and then
Legend. Yeah.
it had like Swift was the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
Somebody was the Joker. Somebody was the King. But it was on. So imagine their faces on cards.
Yeah.
And everybody picked a different one. And that was that was the promo on South Beach.
Yeah.
So everybody I'm like, look, man, we having a penthouse party. Bop, address.
That's fire.
We had it, and after we get off, I'll show you the video. It was crazy.
I'd love to see that for sure.
And I was doing stuff like we'll go to a dinner. Like we went to dinner afterwards, after the conference. Everybody sitting at the table, and this is stuff on my brain that I want to happen. Yeah. And I'm like, this is the perfect time to try it. So I'm like, all right. Everybody sitting. I get up.
Yeah. I
go to the car because I ain't had no CDs on me. So I get up, and before I go to the car, I asked the manager there. Yeah. I said, ain't nobody really in here. We out here. It's just 12 of us. Yeah. I said, you mind if I play one of our CDs while we eating dinner? I walk over there, give him the CD. I go back to that table. You're rocking with Unruly. Everybody looking at the table like, what you doing? I said, man, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Wait for it.
I said, leave me alone. Watch this. Club music on South Beach. You feel me? I was pumped. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
And that was one of that event. And then, it was the weekend before Artscape.
Yeah.
I think it was a month before Art Escape. And a lot of people didn't know, man. Swift was, she like girls, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that. And she was struggling with trying to bring that to pass.
I feel it.
And one day she asked me to take her truck to D.C. to a gay club. And at the time, I wasn't comfortable with being around it. I didn't understand it. Much better now, right?
Sure. Different time.
They the homies.
Different time.
Love everybody, right? So, man, I got into an argument. She tells me, bring me my truck, or I'm going to have Sin City come get it. He'll do it. This is a month before Art Escape.
Yeah.
So, she come get it. He come get it. And now, I had already planned with Unruly. They had gave us the small stage that year for Art Escape.
Yeah.
She was DJing on the main stage, too. So, I still came, right? Even though we had our little thing.
Sure.
Because I still came to Art Escape. And when I got there, she was just getting off the main stage, and her and Sean was walking over, and I was walking over with them. Had on an orange and kind of like orange-yellow shirt, some khaki shorts, and some cool little shoes, and some Fable orange glasses. And I remember her looking over at me and saying, yo, you killing it, yo. And she was like, I hugged her.
Yeah.
And she's like, yo, my bad, yo. Gave me a hug. And we walked over to the stage. And while she was setting up, I'm on the mic. And I'm just playing around. But I would be at her house playing around like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be walking around. Yeah, you already know what it is. Just walking around, like, mimicking her. Trying to figure out how she getting that tone. And
Yeah.
And she just let me go while I was out there.
Yeah.
And then she got on and killed it. I didn't know she was having a party that night. I didn't go. I got the phone call because my phone was on her ADT system.
Huh. Yeah.
I got the phone call that her door was left open. I'm like, yo, she don't leave her door left open. I called my cousin Craig. He's like, yo, Swift just been rushed to the hospital. She fell and hit her head in the pool. And that was 16 years ago this year.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say the cool thing. The joyous thing about that, even in telling that story, because I have a sense of, still able to, push the culture forward and all that good stuff. Swift like our Selena.
Yeah,
right?
Facts.
Don't nobody tell a story, not just about her death, even her, while she was living, the great things she was doing.
Yeah.
This year at Art Escape, bro, they gave me 45 minutes to curate a Baltimore club set.
I was going to bring that up, too. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The last time that Unruly or myself was at a part of it was that time. And, August the 3rd, 6:15 to 7 o'clock, got 45 minutes.
You know I'm going to be there, right? You know I'm going to be there.
Listen, y'all want to know who on the set? I can tell you on the set.
I would love to know. Is this exclusive?
Oh, yeah, this ain't exclusive. Well, it's the first time on radio.
This
all
is...
right, so,
yeah, technically.
So, for the screening of More Than Hype,
Yep.
I did something called One Night at the Docks.
One Night at the Docks, yep.
And everybody like, oh, yo, he doing a reunion. No, that wasn't a reunion.
Yep.
Look at it like this. If you can close your eyes and think of any night at the Paradox, what would it look like for you?
Sweating.
All right. So in that same facet, right?
Sure.
What I was thinking of is who would I have perform?
Oh,
who would be the DJs?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know the club is not here anymore, but what can I have it at?
Yeah.
Well, how
recreate
can,
that moment.
I wanted to recreate that moment, in my moment.
Yeah, that's fire.
Right?
That's fire.
So I'm saying, look, I want to have these people perform. I want to have this DJ. I want to do this. And that was One Night at the Docks.
Yeah.
After I did it, Miss Rachel Graham, who is now the new CEO at Bopa, she was there.
Yeah.
She said, that was amazing. I want you to do this at Artscape. I said, what? She's like, not only do it at Artscape, I want you to do it on the main stage.
Oh, that's crazy.
Not the little main stage.
Yeah,
the main stage.
Yeah.
We go on 2 sets before Sheila E.
That's... Yeah.
All right, so here's my lineup. Drum roll, please. All right, so we got 45 minutes.
Yep.
So what we're doing is we're doing a 45-minute continuous melody.
Yeah.
And it's DJ Rob Braxton.
Okay.
The bearded drummer.
Okay.
Summer, the violinist.
Okay.
Larry Whaddup as the host.
Okay.
Big Rhea. Hey, you knuckleheads.
It's gonna be
Mighty Mark.
Of course, yeah.
TSU Terry.
Fire. The homie.
Run It Up Jordan.
The homie, yeah.
Young Leak.
Yeah. Fire.
Black Star. And DDM is gonna do a Big Tony tribute.
Really? We were just playing Pull Your Guns Out. We was literally just playing it.
Listen. That's why when I came here, you was on that energy.
Yeah.
It's going down just like that, 45 minutes straight. So it's gonna be like Rob Braxton gonna be up there DJing.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be having fun. It's not gonna be like coming up next DDM. Or coming up next.
Continuous.
It's one
move.
continuous.
Yeah.
We're gonna practice the whole set collectively together. But that's the vibe I'm bringing. Ain't nobody ever did that. And it's Baltimore Club.
Yeah, that's gonna be
highlighting Baltimore
incredible.
Club. It's gonna be crazy out there that day.
Oh man, absolutely. I can't. I told you, I'm gonna be there. I would not miss that for anything. I have to be there. And of course, I only expect the greatest of the greatest because these are some of the greatest like creatives in one lineup in one stage at one event at the same time. I can't even imagine what it's gonna be like. But all right, I'm gonna just let it happen. Y'all heard it, and y'all better be there. I'm just saying.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
August the 3rd.
6:15
to 7:00.
45 minutes.
The main stage. Not the little stage.
You know where it's at. The big one.
The biggest one out there. That
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I just think it's funny because this whole interview has been talking about like pivotal moments, things that matter in terms of the things in the rest of your life. And I think that moment where you're on stage in front of Swift and you like just playing around on the mic, and you like just doing things that feel right in the moment. I think about that, and I think about leading up to like being on the road with Los.
Yeah.
And not only were you a MC, but you was his road manager.
Yeah.
And first of all, I can't just say Los's name without saying that he's probably one of the greatest and most underrated lyricists of all time. Period. Real point talk. Blank. Stop the sentence. And being from Baltimore, and then him like just approaching you one day and being like, "Hey, you like, did you ever think about?"
But see, he knew that I wasn't scared of the stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he would be in the audience at the Parlor Camels, the Raw Leagues,
exactly.
the Tim Trees, the Boss Mans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He would be in the audience or be in the presence.
Yeah.
When these shows was going down, he hadn't popped yet.
Yeah.
But he was the cool guy that everybody they fuck with him. He played basketball, but he hadn't really popped like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, you ever thought about being a hype man?
Yeah.
I was like, nah. He's like, yo, I'm telling you, he's like, yo, we can touch soil, yo. We can touch soil.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I mean, I'll learn it. I'll figure it out. And that's when my brain went, say, Larry, it's like, if Los gonna be around you and he always got a pen and a pad, my nigga, you gotta be always practicing.
Always.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
The ad-libs, listening to his music. So it became to the point where, like, even that process with Swift, I was already in it because I'm trying to figure out how to, if I do have to go do this with him, how do I do it?
Right.
And I think he was like, yo, we got some shows. But I would never practice with him. So that's another thing people don't know. I've been on 125 stops with Los.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And most of the time when I go out to meet him, it's me listening to the music first, and then we get out on the road, and then we'll figure out the show. It ain't no, all right, we're going to go ahead, stage left, stay in the middle, jump 3 times, look at the light, do a Dougie, you know what I mean? Do the two-step.
Do a Dougie is hilarious.
That's the new move. Right? Two-step with a Dougie. You know what I mean? Nah, man, it's just like you get out there and y'all vibing. Where's the energy going to take you?
Yeah, that's fire.
And in like 3 days, we got the show. So, like, that's what happened when we went out with Kid Ink.
Yeah.
We went out on 25 city tour with Kid Ink.
I was about to say, that was like the Busy Crook, Kid Ink.
Man, it was so fun. Yeah.
Insane. Insanity. Crazy. That's like 2013?
Yeah, man. We went on my own lane tour.
Yeah.
I got the phone call. from Lowe's manager at the time. He was like, Lowe's told me to call you. We got 2 seats.
Yep.
Left on this bus. Because prior, we was driving to these places.
Yeah,
right?
facts.
We was so prior to the My Own Lane tour, we was probably at 50 cities that we had already hit.
Yeah.
We were driving.
That's a lot
You know
of gas.
what I'm saying? And now you tell me there's 2 seats on the bus. I said, all right, I'll take it. They called me before they called the DJ.
Oh man.
So imagine we out on tour with no DJ. But my position is so important.
It's so important.
We can figure it out.
We will figure it out when we get there. Yeah.
So we get out there.
That's crazy.
We practicing our set on the bus. Every day we go out. The first 3 days, first 3 cities we hit. After that, every night I pray. We take a shot of Ciroc. We go on that stage and turn up. And that's where the whole More Than Hype came from.
Yeah,
right?
I know the story. I want to tell it. I want to tell it.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so More Than Hype. It's the name of your film, your documentary, of course, but it came from every night when you would leave the stage, people were like, yo, you the hypest MC ever.
Yeah.
And you would just kind of think about it and be like, thank you. But it's more than hype.
Yeah.
Like, it's more than just being a hype man, more than just being an MC.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you probably don't know this about me, but I also MC.
Oh, dope.
And what's crazy is I actually started MCing before I did any of this. Before I started podcasting, before I started getting on the radio, any of this. And that shit resonated with me so much. I had to take a step back from my notes because I was like, yo, I say that so much to myself, but I never had the words to like articulate. And I think that was one of the most, full circle, beautiful moments that you was able to like take from your experiences, because everything you've done, and this is sort of kind of me piecing everything in the interview together of like, all of these moments matter. Like all of these moments like really set the stage for everything you've done. And that for you to take from that and to make one of probably the greatest documentaries we've seen up till now is like, that's like a testament to things actually do matter in your past. Things actually do line themselves up for like, you can inspire so many people from the things that you've been through. Yeah. And I just, did I get the story right though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
But I just loved hearing that, and you've been super gracious with the time. I appreciate you being here for this long,
bro.
I mean, but that like being with Los, y'all toured, y'all did so many shows, and it's funny because I was listening to Los when I was a young kid, and even up to now, I still haven't stopped listening to Los. But when I remember finding him out, and he just made me want to rap, and I just, it was funny because when I found an old video of you,
I was
like you was rapping. It was a couple videos I seen you in the studio with him, and then I seen one like it was like you was like doing a freestyle. And
did I have on a tank top?
I think in the studio, yes, you did have a tank top on.
And it was me and him.
And you was on the right hand side, he was on the left, and he was just rapping for like 5 straight minutes.
So I'm gonna tell you, you want to tell you what's so unique about that?
I would love to hear.
All right, so that was sort of like a pick me up night, right? Yeah. So I get to Arizona, I fly out there. Now we ready to hit the road. Yeah, I fly out there, and I wait for Los to get there. So I get to the ranch, and I see all these 4-wheelers. You know what I mean? I got on the newest fucking Ewins.
Yeah.
Like the green, they the African ones. I got them on some green cargo pants, some long bobos, and a tank top. Yeah. And a yellow beanie and some nice shades. And those the fuck I thought I was. I jumped on the bike. I asked him, can I get on the bike and ride? I just wanted to get some of that off my chest. Like, it's like, nigga, it was one of those things like, you know how when you be like, damn, yo, what's gonna happen? Yo, I've got to figure this shit out. Damn, yo, this shit got to happen. This shit. Then all of a sudden, something like, boom, you get the phone call. Yo, what is it? Yeah, book my flight. Yeah, I'm
coming there right now.
Right? Yeah. So when I got there, I still had something on my chest, and I'm like, let me just take a ride. Yeah. So I took a ride so I get the 4-wheeler. They tell me to go and take that one. I ride. I'm going out in Arizona. It's desert.
It's nothing but
desert. Yeah. So I'm going, and I'm testing my language. I go testing. So, but I'm from Baltimore, but I ain't never jump on no motherfucking
sure.
I'm gonna get out there and that car brand new and shit. That's what the fuck I get. So I
bam, coming. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, let me take my ass back.
Yeah.
Now I'm driving slow and getting back. And I passes the entrance to go into the ranch.
Yeah.
So there's a car coming on the opposite side coming this way.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, the car is coming this way to go that way. The car's on that side going that way. So I try to, like, go before the car came. The back of the wheel said, zoop, zoop, zoop. Threw me from one side of the street, one side of the road to the other side of the road.
Hey, yo.
The bike fell on me.
No way.
The bike on me, on my back. My face is in the ground.
Oh,
the
man.
glasses that I had on,
Yeah.
the middle parts,
Yeah.
stuck right here. When I got up, I was like, you see the glasses still right there, and I did like this. As soon as I lift my head up, I just saw like a shadow. It was a black man.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you alright? He had on a cowboy jacket. He's like, you alright? I was like, nah. He's like, let me help you get that bike off you. He pulled the bike up off me. He's like, man, you got a hole in the side of your face the size of a quarter.
Wow.
I got a show tomorrow.
Yeah. That's
How am I
crazy.
on stage like this messed up? So I ended up getting back on the bike and just drove back. And two of my other homeboys was great come out. Max Millie and somebody was great come out. I said, yo, if you don't ride them shits at home, yo, don't do that here, yo. Look at me. They rushed me to the hospital. I was at the hospital for 8 hours. I split all this. You probably can see it.
I can see, yeah.
Now. But I split all that open.
That's crazy.
8 hours. They put some stitches in there that dissolved by themselves. The next day, I got a bucket hat, covered, went on stage and killed it. But when I came back from the hospital, that's what you see.
That's the scene
the session.
in the man.
Yeah, because everybody trying to make sure I was straight. That was the session after I just fell off a fucking football.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this I don't know if you told that anywhere else, but this is exclusive. This is exclusive.
Don't nobody know that because I didn't even know people. I forgot he even posted that.
Yeah.
Me and there messing around with him, but that was right after that, man.
My research, I was gonna find it.
Man, listen, bro. You. Let me see. Let me go and give you this. I'm gonna go and give it to you. You the best person that ever interviewed me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you are, bro.
Wow, thank you.
Like, your research is impeccable.
I appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you went deep, skin deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you went in, bro. I appreciate that, bro.
Man. I mean, to me, it's your story is so important, you know, because, you know, in More Than Hype, you're pretty much telling the legends of all of these, you know, generations through your eyes, through your story.
Yes.
And that matters, right? Like, I have to be the lens for other people to see your story because, like I said at the top of the interview, a lot of people see the work. They don't see the person behind the work. Yeah. And that matters the most, you know, because if you aren't who you are, if you didn't do the things you did, if you didn't accomplish the things that you've done, you would have never been able to give the work that people love so much.
Exactly.
You know, and I just appreciate those accolades because, you know, I mean, I gotta mention this too though because in my research I did see a freestyle. It was like the BALT.
Oh,
did
yeah,
I
here
say
we go.
more?
It's the BALT. I say more. All my head. When I say all my haters. Hold up, it'll be that BALT. Man, I say more. All my player haters stay down to the floor. First they love it, then they hate me, then nod around. First they love it, then they hate me, then nod around. It be that BALT.
I say more.
All my downfalls turn me to a groundhog. First they love me, then they hate me, then nod around. First they love me, then they hate me, then nod around. They see me on my come up. I'm chilling with the sun, bruh. My eye feeling cold. Hot of the summer. Born on the 2-1. Raised in the wire. And I'm a Bill Bremer come before I retire.
Yeah.
It's a new era. I think I'm up next. Shout out to my fucking next check.
Yeah.
I'm all over the money like the numbers in the corner. I'm all over the block like the Ravens on the corner. They call me a pathologist the way I'm killing haters. Snapping like haters. Paper playing fine for your haters. How fly is this? So fly got an airport sponsorship. I hear you talking shit, so I sparked a spliff. R.I.P. to my homie K Swift. I got the heart of a lion. You got the heart of a bitch. Man, fuck this. Case dismissed.
Let's go. Man, that's crazy.
I was trying to remember that I was giving it to him.
That was back in DMV Jams days back. You know what I mean? That was
DMV Jams days. Just having fun on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Just exploring all
you know, all elements of the mic. I think I got comfortable with just like being an MC hosting.
Yeah, for sure. And it's natural. I think along with your choreography skill, along with your dance skill, MCing that was to this day, because it's funny, because this is random, but I just recollected this in the interview. I was at City of Gods for the anniversary. You had stopped past there, and I was like, man, you know, it's crazy because I got so many influences. Like my 3, you know, main influences that really sort of put me under the arm when I started MCing was Black, Lil Black, AJ Showtime, and DJ Twisted. And who's also my cousin, by the way.
Right.
But like those whoever they were put into one person became who I was. And I didn't realize though that I had more influences than that, because I had Pork Chop and I had you, and I didn't even realize that. I didn't even know your name the first time I ever heard you host, but I heard you host and I was like, it's something there that I need to get into. I don't know what it is yet.
Right.
And I was like, but it's something. And, you know, and it's, you know, I say that to say it was always with you. And whether you knew it or not, like it was always, like that path was always laid for you. You just had to walk it. You know? And I just, you know, I just super appreciate your time. I mean, I want to talk about, you know, the Break Media, because like a little bit after that, you know, you became a CEO, you know what I mean? And you started your own media company. I want to ask you sort of that journey and what does that look like up till today, you know?
All right, so I started to Break Media in, I think it was
2018-ish?
2018-ish, right?
Yeah.
My initial start was to help businesses and I would say entrepreneurs build brand, become so they can break into the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
And you know, at first I was just doing meetings at the local restaurant. I didn't even really have a Panera Bread. I didn't have no office space, all that good stuff. And then I just jumped out there and got a space. I think I was renting a space off of Washington Boulevard. It was like a 430 square feet space.
Yeah.
I stayed in there for like 10 months. And then I was ready to go pay my rent.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. You
I
heard
do.
this. You heard this, right? I was ready to go pay the rent. And the landlord said he want me to...
Yeah, you're not renewing.
You're not renewing.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I thought about the peace again. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to zap out. I just had a kid. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I went back in the room and I told my nephew to look for something.
It was Craigslist, right?
Craigslist, yep. And I said, look, I don't want to pay... I'll pay double what I'm paying here, and that's it. And he ended up finding something, and it was in Charles Village.
Yeah.
And that ended up becoming
where you are today,
office
right?
where I'm currently still at today, 8 years later. I ran with the Break Media. You know, I was doing jobs working on We Own the City, Charm City Kings. I was working on those productions.
Yeah.
But when I, you know, at a later age, working on those type of things, right, it's like you got to put so many hours in to be an AD, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. You know, for sure.
Like I told you before, I had already got some of the work ethic or history when I was working on Step Up.
Yeah.
Right? So it was sort of like, all right, man, that stuff got to add up. You got to keep track of it, your hours, how many hours you put on. And I just wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I would get called in. I was like a top PA. I would get called in when they need somebody to facilitate or be out there with these PAs.
For sure.
So I got the call for Charm City Kings. Now, that was crazy how it happened.
Yeah.
Man. I think it just, you catching the flow. Y'all catching the flow. These things be happening. But it's only because I understand the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, after I finished working on Charm City Kings, the dirt bike film.
Yep.
I had got real cool with the AD, Nick Pelicanos.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, look, I'm going to hire you on, you know, if I got anything else coming around, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get you, you'll be on. So, me and my girl, I don't know how it came about. We were sitting at the house, and she got wind of We Own the City, the audiobook. So we started listening to the audiobook, laying on the bed, you know, just listening to the audiobook.
Yeah.
Falls asleep. First phone call I get the next morning is Nick Pelicanos.
Wow.
Yo, we're back. We've already started filming the show Charm City Kings.
Yeah.
I want you on with me. When can you be down here XYZ for meetings, blah, blah, blah. And it happened just like that. And I ended up getting on. I was still a PA on there. But, like, again, I was more of like, I was on there to be a positive disruptor. Yeah. Because if anybody know the culture of like being a PA, working on film sets and stuff like that, you're like you're the last one to eat, you're the last one to leave, you're the first one there. Yeah. You can't leave your post, you can't see what's being filmed. It's just the culture is ugly. Yeah, for sure. So I started seeing. I already knew how it was, right? But I ended up trying to like these PAs or these key PAs, how they would talk to these people. Yeah. I would like say stuff to them. And they ain't like that. I was saying something to them, but you gotta remember, I got called then. Just because I'm a PA don't mean I carry some weight. Yeah, for sure. So it started becoming to a point where like I started getting into like I got into one of the PAs and they basically set was shut down. Yeah. Right. And they come over to me, you know, it's a white boy, he all out of his mind, high, and talking to me out of my mind, like he my father or something on Park Heights in Woodland. I know this story too. It's crazy, right? And after I experienced that, because even though I was filming that, I would leave there and go film More Than Hype. Yeah. Right. So I'd be on there for 12 hours and then probably go be at the office for another 5 hours. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I might fall asleep there or go home. Facts. And after I did We Own the City, I said, I ain't doing no more movies like that no more. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and make myself a executive producer, director. Facts. And my first project is gonna be More Than Hype. Yeah. So More Than Hype was just like the first project on the break. Yeah. But it broke me. You feel me? It broke me. More Than Hype broke me. Yeah. It did.
It's your baby. It got to, right?
It broke me. It did.
Go ahead. I was gonna ask. Not really ask. I was going to comment about the fact that I think one of the things that I liked about your approach to More Than Hype was the fact that you were getting people from inside of the city. Mm-hmm. Like you were getting people from actually part of the story that you were telling versus like hiring people from like out of town or like getting people that were casting people from DC. You got people from the city.
Like you said earlier, you said a couple of times, it was like keeping those relationships together, right? Even though we weren't working together anymore. Exactly. And for the most part of it, when I started going back, talking to the people, they were doing something different than what I knew them for. Yeah. What I fell in love with them with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. So it was sort of like get them back on track. It was like Hell's Kitchen. You know, all right, cool. Y'all got the wrong recipe. You're marketing yourself the wrong way. Your picture's not bright enough.
It's wrong.
You know what I mean? And when you look at the trajectory, or I started working on that film 7 years ago. Yeah. Everybody that you see in that film, prior to me working on that film, you heard nothing about Baltimore Club or any of those artists. Everybody is on a heightened level now. Yeah, for sure. Right? Because even when I was filming, I said, look, bro, I'm not charging you. You're not charging me, right? At the end of the day, that's what we're going to get out of here. Marketing and promotion, and the world going to see this. Facts. So if when the world go see that and they say, who is Tim Trees? And if Tim Trees ain't working, then they ain't going to find none. Why you think Trees came? He doing interviews now, right? That nigga wasn't doing no damn interviews. That nigga wasn't even.
I was going to find him.
He was not. That nigga was under working, staying out the way.
Out the way, yeah, for sure.
But I came to him, like, bro, for you, Doug. You know what I mean? That's what Doug. He always talk about Doug. Yeah. He like Doug for you, Doug, because I don't tell him. I ain't like no. But he came. We had dinner. Me and my nigga had what is it? I forgot the name of the spot over on 25th. But we sat there, and then it's a Caribbean spot.
Not Taste This. It's
What's the Caribbean spot?
Is it right? It's right next to No Excuses.
It's not that one, but it's the first one. It's the first one that been there for me. I'm sorry, I can't even remember.
I can't remember it either. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about too. I can't even remember that name.
But we had we ate there, and then we did the interview, and then after him, it was sort of like, let me look down my Rolodex and see all the people that I work with. Yeah, and it was. Literally, I cut that film down. It was 55 people that I sat with.
I have that.
For an hour. So
55 hours of
55
content. 55
hours of content. Insane. And I only used 90 minutes of it.
It's insane.
So think about what you know what I'm saying?
You got Kanye in the doc.
Kanye.
It's so many people. If we list everybody, it'd be
crazy. But that was, and just after that, I just started every weekend, bro. I would schedule people, right? Yeah. So like on, say for instance, I probably do 6 people per weekend. Yeah. And then every weekend I had a schedule like that, and I say I'm gonna sit with everybody for an hour. Wow. And that's how I got it. In 90 days, I had everybody.
Wow, that's crazy.
I straight 90.
That's straight work. Like that's like the amount of work that it takes to get that done. And I mean, of course, you said you were working on the project for 7 years. I mean, like it doesn't come together overnight, right? Like
it didn't
the concepts had to come to you.
The concept was already there. Okay. Right. Okay. The concept was mainly so this is the original concept was I wanted to highlight hype men. Right? Being out on the road, I've been out on the road with Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah. I've been out on the road with Kid Ink. Yeah. I've been out on the road with I said Machine Gun, right? Yep. Wiz Khalifa, right? So when I'm out there, I'm meeting all that hype men. Yeah. But what I'm noticing, don't nobody really know who they are. Right? So while I'm out here, I'm like, I want to do a story about hype man. And what I was going to do is I was going to write it and then get Spliff Star to be the main person. Yeah. And basically it would show you the behind the scenes of these hype men. Right?
That's fire.
I'm still going to do it. Right?
Yeah. But when I moved to Maryland Avenue, my nephew was, we had a studio in one of the rooms and he was recording. And the next door neighbor, he got cool with the next door neighbor. And he's like, I want you to meet him. He went to Micah, I want you to meet him. And I was giving a hard time at first, and then I'm like, you know what? Let me meet him. Yeah. End up meeting him, and we sat and talked, and he was like, I was trying to do a film about Baltimore's music scene about 4 years ago. I met with some people, they couldn't get it done, and I started telling him the concept about the hype man. Yeah. He's like, yo, that's dope. But he said, tell me more. Like, what how many artists have you worked with from here? Blah blah blah. I said. Just about all of them. I started naming them out. Paula, Bossman, Raleigh, Tim Trees, DJ Class, naming everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
He's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. He's like, bro. He said, the name of the film could be more than hype, but you got so much more to talk about. Let's just cover everybody. And we just basically covered everybody that I worked with or had a relationship with or inspired me.
Yeah.
That's what and that's how I came up with More Than Hype. So people, when I say More Than Hype, it's like, everybody seen me on that stage. Like at one point, people was like, "Oh, yo, that's Los Hype Man." Yeah. And the reason why I counted it because I wanted y'all to know it's more than hype. I'm doing more than just that hype stuff.
So much more, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had to go to the fact and say, "Nigga, I got a movie."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm producing for Artscape. I produced for Baltimore by Baltimore last year. The first, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's more than hype.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? I'm behind the scenes really making things happen.
Yeah, moving and shaking.
And no bragging.
Of course not,
4 to 5 awards. 1 from the governor, 2 from Nick Mosley, 1 from Pure. I mean, in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Facts.
Proclamations, awards and stuff.
Yeah.
Because of the work that you said.
Literally.
But guess what? If I had to stop, no one would know about this work. No one would talk about my work. Ain't nobody tell my story.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody say, yo, let me... And see, the unique thing was, I could have came out here and told y'all a story about Larry. I told y'all a story about Larry and his influence on these different people.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Which have more legs. I mean, yeah, my story is cool. But it's like, yo, how can one man work with all these different people? How were you able to have these relationships with all these people?
Yeah.
Because when I got put out, when I had no father figure, my mother strung out on drugs, this became my family. The music family became my family. The dance community became my family.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that's why to this day, I got a certain amount of people who I get gigs. They first on my call log.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And man, that's what a way to like circle back to the entire. It's a real full circle moment, and I think everybody should definitely check out your film, like More Than Hype. I think this is probably one of the most important documentaries, like of our generation and the generation before us, and the generation that's coming ahead of us. And I just think, this is just a moment in history. This is just one of many moments in history that you'll keep making.
I mean, I'm coming back with I got the rights to shoot the Unruly Untold story.
That's gonna be crazy too.
I got the rights to shoot the K Swift story.
That's gonna be crazy too.
What I mean? I'm gonna do a Philly and Jersey version of More Than Hype, where we follow where the club music went after she passed away.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
But yeah, man, and as far as the break media, I guess I would say I discontinued it.
Sure.
I shut it down. Like I said, it took me broke. I went broke on it. But I did start a new company, and my new company is called Caudle Consulting. You know what I mean? So that's what I'll be doing now, from music, fashion, entertainment. Shoot, you try to get a pond built, hit me up.
That's fine. Anything you need, he got you.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's. Man, I just think this is such an incredible story, and I'm just honored to sit in front of you, to tell this story, from the way that I was able to see it in my perspective, but to give more context from your perspective. I mean, this is called the Vibe Perspective Podcast, with yours truly, Mike on the mic. What I mean, and I'm again definitely in awe of your story, because I don't think this is even close to being near what you're going to do in the future. This is like just the tip of the iceberg. And you're gonna, if I know anything about your future, it's that your past showed me that you was going to outdo all expectations.
Listen, I every season I try to outdo myself.
Yeah.
So last year, this time, I was doing Baltimore by Baltimore. I was the producer. The same time this year, I was hosting. So I hosted the whole house thing. Last year around this time, I was the stage manager for the Baltimore Club Music Day. That 4 hours that we had.
Which was
year,
still crazy, by the way.
This year for Artscape, I got 45 minutes curating the set.
You know
what I'm saying? Last year I did a cohort with Enoch Pratt Library. And it was just Enoch Pratt. But now, this is the first to be on air. This year, I'm coming back with cohort number 2 with a partnership from DTLR, Sound Lab, and Adidas. Starting in September. I'll be back with cohort number 2, and I'll be looking for artists from the age of 16 to 18.
Oh, fire.
And I'll be picking 10 acts that we'll be cultivating for 8 weeks.
Wow.
Yes. Enoch Pratt, DTLR, Caudle Consulting, Sound Lab, Adidas. Yeah, man. So now I'm already thinking how can I beat this next year?
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
And I don't know if you knew, Cal. I was just the film was streaming for 12 days at the Seattle Film Festival.
Yeah.
Today was the last day.
The last day was today. Yeah.
Yeah, today was the last day.
Mike on the mic, by the way.
Oh, my bad.
You good?
Mike
Are you good?
On the mic, my bad.
But I mean, no, yeah, I definitely knew that today was the last day, and I think I'm sure you're gonna hold separate screenings or something.
So the thing is,
or you can't do that because of the film festival, right?
No, so Mike, I did 3 screenings before I even hit a festival.
Yeah, for sure.
Morgan State University.
Morgan State, yeah.
I did Reginald F. Lewis.
Yep.
And then I did IMAT.
Yeah.
That was all in 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I did the film festival May the 3rd with Maryland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was my game plan. My game plan was give Baltimore 3 free screenings. They were free.
Just push it up.
I submitted to 17 different festivals.
Yeah.
As I get more money in, I'll be submitted to other festivals, right?
Yeah.
My thing now is just getting the film out there, working on creating a curriculum for the film, then
That's
also
fire.
Working on a partnership where all the students that come into Morgan, they gotta watch it. You know what I'm saying? It's part of pre-college.
That's fire.
You know what I mean? So that's some things in the works. So hopefully that'll be in works by September.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm excited, man.
I'm excited for you, man.
to
know your humble beginnings from getting into Morgan, just from that one moment going to church, and now possibly having a pre-college curriculum with your film that you've built everything from your life into. That's insane. I'm just happy for you. I'm super excited to know what's gonna come from not just this year, but 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. And the legacy you're gonna leave behind.
Let that crypto keep moving up. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a fact.
Listen,
that's a fact.
Listen, y'all don't just get into this business thing and the music gonna make you money. You get in here and make the money off of music, then invest in other stuff.
Facts.
Like I'll be honest, bro. I'm into crypto. I'm into clean energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, tomorrow I'm sitting on a webinar for you know how like the energy cars, the electric cars.
Yeah.
How you can go charge up.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on a webinar tomorrow how to buy into those.
Big business.
You know what I'm saying?
Big
Like
business.
I got a daughter. I'm talking about legacy.
No, for sure, and that's 100%. I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree, so you know.
Only 4 people dealing with crypto right now.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And a lot of people scared of electric cars. They don't know, but we gonna move in that sector. It's already
100%.
The bills are already passed. The laws are already in.
100%. The foundation's already laid. Like a lot of companies are. I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah.
But
y'all gonna be coming to my energy stations.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
They're gonna be like the Jetsons, though. I'm gonna have some slick stuff.
Some fly shit.
Yeah, some fly stuff. You feel me?
No, 100%.
Don't worry about it.
Like I said, it's an absolute pleasure sitting in front of you. You heard it first. Larry Whaddup is in the building, man. Always a pleasure, bro.
Man, listen, this was great. This was really dope, man.
I appreciate it, man.
You did your research. You had all your facts. Like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go and give you best person I ever did an interview with.
That's such an honor. I'm speechless. I'm usually not speechless, but I'm absolutely speechless. No, for sure.
You the best person that did an interview with me, and I'm the best person that ever did an interview with Wayne Davis. Now, if I get him in here for you, and you outdo me, we're gonna be boxing, bro. Tell him. Can't beat me, bro. You can't beat me. That's the OG.
I don't know
so
how.
You know what? Never mind.
I don't know how to turn it off.
No. I want you to be better. I want you to be better than me. That's the whole game plan. That's the whole game plan. We gotta pull back to pull forward, right?
That's facts, yeah.
Like I had that relationship with Wayne. I literally went and got the real paradox sign.
Really?
He ain't never let nobody do that. Yeah, I had the real paradox sign.
Hey, yo.
The real paradox sign.
That's insane, actually.
And it wasn't no reunion.
That's actually insane. That was the real paradox sign.
The real paradox sign.
August the 3rd,
make sure y'all dead. One lane at the docks. Art Skate Weekend. It's going down. Y'all heard the lineup. Your boy Larry Whaddup. It's here.
6:15 to 7 p.m., man. 45 minutes set. Larry Whaddup is in the building, man. I appreciate you for coming out, man. I appreciate it. And I look forward to all the new motion, all the new bigger performances, Artscape, everything. Like the screenings, everything that you're going to do with your talent, your creative like background, your skill set, everything you got to offer each more year to come. And I think, you're just getting started, like I said, and I got to leave you with a short, sacred Baltimore proverb because it's only right. And it's keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, man. Appreciate it, bro.
You know what I mean? Once again, it's your boy Mike on the mic from the Vibe Perspective Podcast. Tap in with my guys at Ground 3 Radio. DJ OK. Man, make sure you call in at 443-377-1872. Again, that number is 443-377-1872. Leave a message about Larry Whaddup. Man, more than hype. You know what I'm saying? Man, anything you like, man. Unruly. It's anything you like, man. Pull up. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Man, next interview is coming up soon. Keep the vibe alive and keep Vibe Studios in the front of your mind when you think about these interviews, man. Let's get out of here, man. Peace. We out of here.
You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Larry. I'm rocking with Ground 3 Radio, and I'm here with Mike on the mic. Stop playing with him, fool.